Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy. We're to present you our MLB On Deck segment for Wednesday, June 5th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This you can watch all my MLB, NBA, and NFL videos. If you haven't came and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily FanDuel, and DraftKings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, what up, Jeremy? How you doing out there, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Lost my voice a little bit. As you know, I coach high school basketball and I coach the little kids. And yesterday I had a long practice. Was out there yelling a ton, so my voice is lost a little bit. But hey, man, we're gonna work through it and we're gonna get some good information out on this video.
Yeah, let's go.
Cool. Real quick, as always, if you guys don't mind, please take that quick second, click the like button down below. Helps me out. Really appreciate that from you guys. And yeah, man, if you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, this video is a little bit more of an overview, get you a general idea of some really good spots. But if you want to know some individual guys, some individual stacks, hitters, pitchers, whatever you're looking for, we got a bunch of other content on the site for today's MLB. Plus, we got NHL up. On the weekends, we got PGA, MMA, NASCAR. Hey, we got a lot. Make sure to check it out. Get your 14-day free trial. Make sure that our product is right for you, man. Got nothing to lose. And, man, let's go. So I'll jump into some bats, and then you can kind of round us off with some pitchers, and we could kind of just, get out of here. So I'll start first. I'm going to start with Milwaukee at home. The Brewers have a really, really good hitters park. They get a matchup today against Sandy Alcantara. Gives up a 30% hard contact rate, 143 ISO to lefties, .095 ISO to righties. Milwaukee as a team, they have a 201 team ISO. I just think this is the day. I mean, Alcantara is actually not too bad of a pitcher. He's not, but it's a really good hitting environment. I think that this game is going to have some runs on both sides of it. I'm liking this Milwaukee stack. Whenever you talk about Milwaukee's, you're looking at their big guns. You got Lorenzo Cain, Yelich, Moustakis. I'm throwing a little Ryan Braun. Thames always has double dong upside. Travis Shaw's been off a little bit this season, but they got a lot of lefties that they could definitely throw at this guy Alcantara. So I think this is going to be a good day for the Brewers. That's the first spot that I'm really going to start with. Outside of that, I'm going to move on to Texas. I like the Rangers. Hey, one thing I do want to say, man, I got to give you a little bit of love, bro. Yesterday, I talked about Texas. You told me you liked the other side of things with Baltimore. And sure enough, man, Baltimore went absolutely crazy yesterday. That was a good call right there. I'm going to go right back to the well today with Texas, though. Really good hitting environment. It's starting to get hot. Balls are flying a little bit more. Texas gets a matchup today against John Means. Gives up a 31% hard contact rate. 178 ISO to lefties, 166 ISO to righties. As a team, Texas has a 183 ISO. You look at the regulars, guys. Shin Soo Choo. Santana, if he's going to be in that two-hole. Alvis Andrews, Hunter Pence, Mazzara. I like those guys, the top five, and you can still sneak in a Logan Forsythe, Cabrera, even Odor has some double dong upside, a little bit of stolen base upside. I think that Texas is a really good spot to target today. Do you have the same feeling about Baltimore today as you did yesterday?
No, not at all.
No, okay. So I'm right on today's Texas side of things, right?
I'm not high on either one of them, to be honest with you.
No. Okay. Yeah, I like it. Really good hit environment. We always talk about it. Like I said, Texas gives up a bunch of runs. We've seen that last night. Moving on, probably the best spot of the night, and it's been the best spot probably for the past week to 2 weeks. We've been talking about them a lot. I'm going to go right back to the well, though. You got the Houston Astros. They're really, really hot right now. They're like 25-4 or something like that, some crazy number like that. They're on a really good win streak, and they're swinging good bats. They get a matchup against Mike Leake. I've been targeting Mike Leake for the past couple seasons. He's just not a very good pitcher. I think the only reason he, continues to have a job is he eats up innings. And, in MLB, there's a lot of innings that need to be eaten up. So you get Mike Leake against Houston, gives up a 40% hard contact rate, 233 ISO to lefties, 275 ISO to righties. I'm not trying to take the short way out, but I legitimately think you can pretty much look at everybody in the Astros lineup if they're in there. It was a perfect example yesterday. Even the guys in the very bottom, they all had 15 to 20 fantasy points. I mean, this lineup, tonight 1 through 9, definitely in play against Mike Leake. Not a very good pitcher at all. Outside of Houston, which, like I said, is the best spot on the slate, in my opinion, you got the Yankees. They're coming in with the high implied run total as well, a little bit over 5 runs implied. They get a matchup today against Trent Thornton in Toronto in the Dome. He gives up a 37% hard contact rate, 267 ISO to lefties, 105 ISO to righties. Yankees as a team, they have a 203 team ISO. You obviously want to target them with the lefties. I mean, Hicks, you can look at Hicks, you can look at Frazier, Gardner, but I definitely think these righties are in play. DJ LeMahieu at the top of the order. Voit been swinging a good bat on the season. Gary Sanchez, he's always in play as double dunk upside. Gleyber Torres, man, he's the guy who's been the biggest surprise in this lineup. Some of their big guys in Stanton, Judge, they went out, and he's been the guy that's been producing very, very well. Yankees, I mean, I want the lefties. That's the thing. I want the lefties, and they don't have too many lefties in their projected lineup right now. But with the high implied run total, I definitely think they're in play against Trent Thornton, who gives up a pretty high ISO to lefties. Lastly, round it off, and then I'll let you kind of jump in here and let us know what you're looking at. I like the Cardinals today. The Cardinals at home, they get a matchup against Anthony DeSclafani. DeSclafani is just like Mike Leake. They're not very good pitchers. He gives up a 42% hard contact rate, 149 ISO to lefties, 168 ISO to righties. So you want to target them a little bit more with the lefties, but the righties are definitely still in play. You start with Matt Carpenter, really good play on this slate. Dexter Fowler, Colton Wong, the lefties in the lineup, and then you can still throw in the Goldies, DeJong, Marcell Ozuna is in play. Even Bader sometimes been in that top of the order. So we got to kind of see how the lineup shakes out, but I definitely think that the Cardinals are in play as well. So just to kind of sum it up, I mean, the teams that I'm really looking at, you can look at Milwaukee, Texas, Houston. The Yankees are in play, and the Cardinals. What I missed, bro?
Yeah, I'm not sure where the implied run totals are at today, but I would caution a couple of teams you mentioned. Where's Milwaukee at?
At home.
No. From an implied run total standpoint,
highest total on the slate.
Yeah. See, I mean, look, for things that I look at that are important to me. I mean, Alcantara 143 ISO versus lefties, nowhere near like some of these other guys that I've liked to target the Milwaukee bats against, and only at 095 versus righties. Alcantara, that's how you actually say his name. Alcantara. I keep wanting to call him Alcantara. Alcantara he's not bad. He's not a bad pitcher. He's not good.
Right.
But Milwaukee, when you take a look at Milwaukee right now as a whole, they've got a 25.6 K percentage against right-handed pitching and a 197 ISO against right-handed only. You had mentioned they have I think you said a 201 ISO as a team. So obviously they're a little bit better against left-handed pitching. Maybe they're a little bit reverse splits. Milwaukee's batting average against right-handed pitching is only 249. The other thing I take a look at is the last 7 days. And in the last 7 days, they have the 15th best batting average against right-handed pitching, but they're number 1 in ISO. So it's power numbers for them. And that's really what Milwaukee is. We're looking for power. So I'm okay to target them. I just don't know that they're going to go nuts in this spot. They haven't been, from a hitting standpoint, they haven't been extremely hot over the last week as far as hitting for average, but when you've got 1 or 2 guys in your lineup that can go yard, and maybe you get, a 2-run bomb and a 3-run bomb, you put up 5 runs. But as a whole, as a stack goes, I would caution it. I would probably use Milwaukee today more as a mini stack and target the guys with the biggest ISOs against right-handed pitching, and I would mini stack them. That's just kind of my feelings on Milwaukee. I'm not really excited to load Milwaukee up in a spot where they're super chalk, if they have the highest implied run total, the drive-by research is going to be, load up Milwaukee, 5.7 going against the Marlins. That didn't work out very well yesterday. I'm not saying yesterday is going to happen time and time again, but, Milwaukee's not the hottest team in baseball right now. It's not like the Dodgers by any means, or even the Astros for that matter. So, The Rangers is another team that I throw a little bit of caution at as well. I get the hitting environment. I get the pitcher they're going against in John Means. I get all that. The problem I have with it is you take Joey Gallo out of the middle of that lineup. You've got, Rugen Odor. The guy's really struggled this year. Delano DeShields is not a guy that you can count on day. There's a reason why his price is so depressed. It's not a guy you can count on day in and day out to hit home runs, to get on base and consistently steal bases. The stolen base is kind of a thing of the past. It's a spot stat, if you will. It's not something you can say, oh, I'm going to load this guy up because I think he can get me a stolen base tonight. Teams are not stealing because they're so focused on power. So, I would caution that one as well. I definitely think they could score 5 runs. I just don't know if there's enough from a stack standpoint tonight for them. And then one team you didn't mention that I'm going to throw out there, and that's the Giants. Every single time that Jason Vargas pitches, whoever the team is, I'm going to use.
I get you.
He's you look at his numbers, Vargas, a 216 ISO versus lefties, a 194 ISO versus righties. He's brought that down a little bit with the good start he had against the Dodgers. And then the other team that I would talk about is Colorado. You take a look at Darvish with a 233 ISO against him from left-handed bats. That's a guy in Cincinnati. You talked about DeScalfini, but Hudson on the other side of it, 267 ISO against left-handed bats. It's definitely a guy that, Cincinnati has more left-handed bats in their lineup than St. Louis will have in their lineup. And DeScalfini has terrible ISO numbers, 349 ISO against from left-handed bats. But DeScalfini, if DeScalfini can find a way to not give it up to Carpenter or Dexter Fowler or Colton Wong, the rest of that lineup is right. And against right-handed bats, he's only allowing a 158 ISO. So, he can give up a 3-run bomb. He can throw control, etc. It's just, I think that you either target both sides of it or you have to give equal consideration to Cincinnati in this spot.
Yeah, no, I get you completely. So what do you think pitching-wise? Where are you at on today's slate?
Yeah, look, James Paxton against the Blue Jays, 24.4 K%, a 140 ISO against left-handed pitching. That's Toronto. I think Martin Perez is in a sneaky spot. His price has dropped down to 8.9. It's a guy we've used consistently this year. I think coming off the start where he got blown up by the Tampa Bay Rays, people won't be on him. Cleveland hasn't been the hottest team in baseball. We talk about it almost every day, how they've underperformed as a team. Minnesota has the ability to go out and put runs on the board and give Martin Perez run support. Martin Perez struggled a little bit with control. He got himself in a jam and didn't get out of it. And that's pretty much what knocked him out of that game against Tampa Bay. He came out in the first 2 innings and was lights out. So, I don't look at that as something that is going to be the normal. I think he'll rebound fairly nice. I like to target pitchers on a rebound start that are good. And this is definitely a rebound start for him coming off that getting blown up, where yesterday the slate absolutely imploded and people are going to be kind of shaky about today's slate. You combine that with there's a pitcher on there who was blown up his last time out. The other guys to really look at, Charlie Morton, 26.3 K% versus right-handed pitching and a 150 ISO. That's the Detroit Tigers. I actually recommended stacking against Blake Snell yesterday because of the right-handed ISO numbers against left-handed pitching in that lineup. It worked out. Detroit put up 9 runs. I don't like Detroit the same way today against Charlie Morton. I think this is a really good spot for Charlie Morton. And I am going to use Mike Minor. You like Texas a little bit today. I do think Texas is in a good spot. I just think you take Joey Gallo out of the middle of that lineup. It kind of changes things a little bit. But Texas still has the ability to put up runs. Mike Minor has been really good this year. Baltimore does have some good numbers against left-handed pitching. We saw that come to fruition last night. Pedro Severino hit 3 home runs. Hanser Alberto had a nice game. Nunez had a nice little game. They do have Mancini. They have guys that have high ISOs against left-handed pitching, but I just like Mike Minor in this spot.
Hey, be honest, bro. You like Mike Minor in general. That's your dude this year.
Yeah, I like guys that have numbers that nobody looks at. And This guy's got numbers and nobody looks at. He's their ace. He's their best pitcher. And this guy was a good pitcher before he came to Texas. He was a good pitcher in Atlanta. It's not like he wasn't, it's just who's Mike Minor. He just came out of nowhere. Mike Minor could pitch. The The last thing I'll mention is Chris Sale's on this slate. It's a steep price tag to pay for Sale. I'm kind of on the fence, and it's something that I'll get into a little later on.
For sure. So, hey, man, as I said in the very beginning, if you do want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, check out Jeremy's deep dive video. I come out with my core plays video shortly as well. 5 guys I think you should have in all your cash game lineups today. And we got a couple other stuff as well on the site. Got a crush spot article, etc. So make sure to check it out, dfscheatsheet.com. And hey, man, outside of that, good luck on your guys' contest tonight, and peace out.